FS1, FS2, and all of other Picknell's children and any other children that are at home at the minute being super brave and staying in. I've got this story to read today, and I know that FS2 like this one, don't you? That's right, you do. So I've read it to you before, and I thought I'd choose this as one of our books for me to keep reading for you at the minute. And it's a Julia Donaldson one. We've talked about the author Julia Donaldson. I know it's one of our favourites, so I will be going and reading you a few of hers over the next couple of weeks. Please keep sending in your recommendations, any books that you want, any stories you'd like me to read you. I'll be more than happy to try and find them and do a quick video for you. This is called The Snail and the Whale, and like I said, I've got a certain special people in FS2 that I know this is their favourite story, so I thought I'd put this one up and let's see what happens. Okay, this is a tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. Oh, can you think what's happening with these words in this book? That's right, they are rhyming words, aren't they? And I wonder, while I finish reading this story, if you can spot any more words that rhyme. They sound the same, so let's carry on. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a lift." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a slivery trail that looped and curled and said, "Lift wanted around the world." He's clever to write that on the rock, wasn't he? This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlight sea and said to the snail, "Come, sail with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. Oh, Miss Harris would like to visit there. Look at those wonderful things. There's even a little tortoise there. And a big volcano. Wow. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on his tail. Oh, gosh, there they are. Look, their smiley mouths. Can see 3 of those. And some stripy fish there, and an octopus. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning, flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. There he is, look, holding on tight. And he's there, if you can just see. He's being very super brave. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. Dear. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," the snail. I can't move on land. I'm too big, moaned the whale. Oh, the snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, I've got it, she cried, and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board, as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail? A snail? The teacher turns pale. Look, said the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, save the whale. These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman and digging at the pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, hooray, as the whale and the snail travelled safely away. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, how time's flown and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping curly silvery tail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey-blue humpback whale. And there were lots of little snails all going for their adventure on the tail of the whale. So I knew you'd like that story. It's one of Miss Harris's favourites as well, and I know FS2 would be like this one, so that's why I wanted to put that one in here. And there are lots and lots of words in here that do rhyme because they sound the same, don't they? And I wonder if you can do some rhyming for me while you're at home. I wonder if you can find some words that you could rhyme with. Something like snail. You could also rhyme hat. Maybe find some words that rhyme with hat. Find some words that rhyme with bone. I wonder if you could think really hard. See if you can write them down, and again, send in your pictures of any words that you can that you found rhyming, and I'll be super duper proud of you. But I'm going to see you very soon. I'm sending you a huge big squishy, and I'll stay safe, and I shall see you for our next story. All right, take care. Bye bye.